TheDerpySmiler channel. We are here with the review and recap of episode 6 of the Caucus Challenge, Leader of the Pack. So, before we go in, I just want to give a little bit of disclaimer of why we did not do reactions this weekend, and it's because this weekend I went to go play on Collision, which is another game made by Dre Media, the same guys who did make the Caucus Challenge. And so after that was over, we watched this episode and episode 7 together. So instead of me creating a quote-unquote reaction or discussion using the reaction format, I decided I'm going to go ahead and make a review and recap for episode 6 and episode 7 when it comes out, and then go back to the reactions for episode 8 and 9. Sivo was actually asking me about what happened to the reaction for episode 6. So, you know, I kind of forgot, I'm not gonna lie, that I still have to make this. So, here we are. So if you guys do enjoy it, please drop a like and subscribe. The episode starts off where the last one left off, which was Zay versus Steven in the snow. At this point, Zay's ribs are hurting, potentially even cracking, and neither player is letting go. Steven talks about how he's at the bottom, and this is why he should win this and potentially take out either Clay or Joel, whoever comes out winning in the next round. Zay knows that he can't win, so he holds on for dear life, like a man riding a bull, a mechanical bull, as Steven is just trying to toss him around. But Zay believes that it's better to DQ with Steven, since Steven is at the bottom and everyone wants him in the elimination, which at start does feel like a good strategy. If you can't win, take him down. But they both time out, so Zay and Steven are disqualified from the challenge, just leaving Clay and Joel to go up on the final round. And now Zay is in pain. He's completely hurt, and we have no idea what's happened. But we'll get back to him. First, we need to go through with this final round, which is Clay versus Joel. And at first, both players seem to do amazing. Both are very strong. Both are very capable of holding their own. However, at this point, since it's the last round, if they time out, they have to restart their round again until someone wins. So Joel and Clay do time out, and they reset. And now they're going at it again, but Joel doesn't want to be tossed, and Clay is just tossing him here, there, everywhere. And Clay wins, but Joel is injured. And this is where the episode title being called Dr. Will, this is where Dr. Will comes out slow motion like a lifeguard on the beach. You know, holding his bag and everything out. He does come out, not in slow motion, and he checks on Joel. And now, after he does that, takes Joel inside. Everyone is now inside. Clay is visibly upset because he believed that he just injured someone that he calls a friend. Right? He potentially might have injured Joel, potentially even taking him out of this game. But Kevin and Steven are there to just calm him down and do what they can to help out in the situation. I don't know about you, but I don't know if Steven was helping. You know, he tried. So we cut back to Joel and Zay, and we find out that Joel, he's medically cleared to return to the game, but Will be keeping a close eye on him. However, Zay is out of the game. He is way too injured and is considered a safety hazard to continue. So Zay is officially out of the game. And honestly, when that happened, and I knew it was going to happen, I was told about this, I was upset, right? Zay is a good friend of mine. Like, we talk a whole lot more now than we did like last year's when I met him. And we've been talking back and forth, not just about the season, but about life. You know, I respect him a lot. He respects me a lot. We root for each other. We cheer for each other. Just because we have the same last name, Rodriguez. But it's unfortunate, you know, and we were talking back and forth, just discussing that whole situation and how sad it was. But, you know, it was safer for him to be let go than for all that, for him to keep going and potentially need a terrible hospital visit. So, Wednesday is removed from the game. Everyone is told this news and tears are coming out. Mike is crying, Cam is crying, people are visibly upset. You could tell some people are just very, you know, they don't know how to take this news and they are very, very hurt. But enough of the crying and the drama and the trauma of this season, of this round. Because right before we head into deliberation, Steven gives us a confessional saying, you know, he's back, he's right. He doesn't the same thing, he's going to get pulled, but like, bro, it probably wasn't that bad. You're still getting checked up if you feel like you're at risk, but you will probably be good, especially with how you put one labor on in this episode. You are definitely fine. I just don't know why we needed that. But we get straight into deliberation, and Sivo and Steven kind of have an argument going, slightly, but not totally, not completely, but almost unanimously. Steven does get thrown into the elimination because he was at the bottom of the house, and he does what nobody expected him to do. He said, I'm going to go big if I'm going to go home. And he calls out the big dog, Mike. Now, if you don't know Mike's record, Mike is a huge contender in every season that he's a part of. He plays this game to the best of his ability and has even won. Now, we did have some people in production there, so they already knew about this. But for the ones that didn't know, we were just like, what the fuck? Like, Steven, what the hell is going on here? What are you doing? But it happened. And so now, after the deliberation, we head straight into the elimination. And the elimination is actually the second puzzle. The first puzzle being a tanagram that looks like a heart. The second puzzle being like this block puzzle that you have to assemble that looks like Jenga pieces. You have to find the right way to make a cube. And then the final puzzle is a math puzzle. Now, on the first puzzle, both players were actually struggling. But the first puzzle was the only puzzle that they were allowed to time out in. In this elimination, each puzzle you had 5 minutes to complete. If you timed out in the first puzzle, that's fine. You move on to the next. But if you were to time out in any of the other 2 puzzles, that's it. You're eliminated. Unless the other person couldn't do those puzzles either. So in the first one, we noticed that both Steven and Mike are having issues with it. So they both time out and head straight for the cube puzzle. And in the cube puzzle, Mike finishes first and is off, but Steven's not too far behind. Steven finishes maybe what seems to be a few seconds, maybe like a minute or so after Mike, and rushes right behind him. And then they both grab that math puzzle. And now we get this confessional that pretty much Steven is like this math genius. Mike calls for a check first, and it's not correct. Mind you, this puzzle, from what was explained, I didn't see it completely, but from what was explained, it's kind of like a Sudoku puzzle. You know, the numbers have to align to make a certain answer. I forgot what the answer was, but Steven got it. Almost immediately after Mike called for a check, and Steven won. Again, calling out Mike, a huge threat. Someone who has shown to play this game time after time, really well. That's like calling out C2 or Johnny Bananas, a huge vet in the game that just, has looked past season after season after season. But Steven did it. This guy who couldn't win an elimination against John B. Smoked about 3 or 4 people this season. And it is huge. This win is monumental and it shows that Steven this season really did come to play and he was just doing his thing. But I want you guys to let me know what you think down below. Throw a little Drew Engelman out there. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel about this episode? What are your thoughts if you guys are following it? I'm going to place a link in the description of this video for the episode as if it was a reaction video, just so you guys can go check it out for yourselves. But I really do suggest that you guys watch the Caucus challenge, especially if you can't watch the actual challenge, like myself. I can't watch season 40 until Michael decides to put it up on Paramount Plus. So this is my entertainment. But you guys should definitely take a look at it and let me know everything that you feel. Anyway.